This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a service that provides you with pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. If you're trying to eat out less and save money, HelloFresh is an amazing option. Not only is the ingredients and recipes you're getting restaurant quality, but there's also more healthy and a wider variety of alternatives since they have over 35 different recipes each week. If you're not that good of a cook, don't worry, the steps are incredibly easy to follow, and by doing this, you'll be improving your cooking skills. HelloFresh is providing a special limited time discount and free shipping to your orders. All you have to do is click the link below. Alright, so what's up guys? It's Larry here, and as the title says, I will be talking about the character I personally believe is the worst character in the game. The character I think is the worst in the game is Ganon. I feel like it's pretty obvious at this point, or at the very least, it's hard to argue he isn't, you know? It's hard to argue he isn't. I want to do something a little bit differently because I feel like for a lot of people, when you talk about Ganon being the worst in the game, they will just go, oh, well, he has all these bad things. Like he's just horrible in all of these aspects. But I want to explain what he needs in order to be a good character. I want to explain what a good character is and then, you know, show that Ganon doesn't have those things. Rickles, get out of here. Get out of here. You weren't supposed to see this, bro. Rickles is going to just like come to my house. He's gonna be on my door. He's gonna just knocking. I'm gonna answer it, and then he's just going to get inside be me. Let me explain what you need to be a good character, and then you'll kind of understand why Ganon is severely missing those things. So the first thing you need in order to be a good character, in my opinion, is good movement or frame data. That is very, very important. It's like a very high priority. If you do not have good movement or frame data on your attacks, you're not really going to have much. Ganon doesn't really have that. He's one of the slowest characters in the game. Frame data wise, his moves aren't super slow, but they're also not very fast. So the second thing you need is you need to have consistent ways to combo or get kills. I will say Ganon does have kill confirms, but I feel like they're niche compared to like other characters. Like he has confirms with side B, he maybe has like potential setups with throws, but there's nothing that's outright guaranteed except for side B, but even that's like more so reactionary slash guessing, or more so on the guessing side outside of a few setups where you can guarantee a kill. And the final thing I think you need in order to be a really good character is a good recovery. In my opinion, Ganon has one of the worst recoveries in the game. I don't think it's the worst, but it is probably like a bottom 5 recovery. At lower levels, it will definitely seem way better than what it is. But once you reach a higher level, you'll realize how exploitable his recovery is. You'll realize that it's going to be really hard for him to make it back. And it's because the hitboxes on his recovery just are not that good. So the first thing I mentioned was frame data and movement. So let me kind of show you what I mean by that. And I guess you can also add hitboxes in there. So already right off the bat, Ganon's jab is frame 7. That is very slow. That is not a fast jab. That's probably, I don't know if it's the slowest jab in the game, but it's definitely up there. That is an incredibly slow jab, considering that a lot of characters have a frame 2 or 3 jab. And again, Ganon is frame 7. And then you look at his other ground moves there. His tilts frame data wise aren't that bad. They do have solid range. This is another thing I was gonna bring up. Some of Ganon's moves have decent range, but they're not disjointed, which I think is a problem. When you look at some other characters that have like similar hitboxes, a lot of them are disjointed. So like they're attacking with their sword, or the hitbox itself is just like absurdly just big, so it's hard to trade with. And outside of a few of Ganon's moves, he doesn't have that. Like, I guess he has the up tilt there, which comes out frame 60. His smash attacks also, they're disjoints because he's attacking with the sword. But look at the speed on them. They're not very fast. You're either relying to catch someone's landing, in like which case you're hoping they drift into you, or you're probably going for like a pretty hard read. Although to be fair, I will say with Ganon's forward smash, because of the range on it and the pushback, if someone shields it, it's probably gonna be hard for them to punish it as it could hit you with. So the risk reward is, I would say, it's okay. But then you go into Ganon's aerials. His fastest aerial is frame 7, which I think, I would say a lot of characters at worst have a frame 7 aerial. So this isn't too bad, I guess. Ganon's Nair, good, especially the second hit. The second hit is amazing. Like you look at the first hit, it's not as ridiculous, and then you get to the second hit and it's bam. Like the disjoint on that's really good. I feel like it's rough for Ganon, because even though it was like that solid nair, it's not crazy safe on shield. Like he's gonna get blown up by a lot of characters out of shield options, or just, you know, characters that can call out this move, because there are some aerials that even though they say it's like -6 or something, they're doing it from a full hop, which makes some aerials safer on shield, and from a short hop it's worse. Again, mobility wise, he's not like incredibly slow, but he's still like one of the slowest characters in the game when you like count in airspeed and in ground speed. He can still do things. That's like every character in Ultimate. Every character in Ultimate, despite how bad they may seem, they can do crazy things. So like Ganon, for example, there's been a lot of Ganons that have caused upsets or like gotten really good wins. I think that one of the ones that we all probably have that comes to mind is Nairo versus Light, where he reversed 3-0'd Light with Ganon. That is a very, very insane win, and that's probably a bigger win than most low tier characters have gotten. But that still does not take away from the fact that Ganon is as bad as he is. Let's kind of look at Ganon's combos, because he doesn't have like consistent damage or damage racking capabilities or kill confirms. He has down throw and this stuff. So I think down throw dash attack can work if the opponent dies away. A lot of his big damage definitely comes from down throw, but it only works at really low percents. So it's funny because, you know, a lot of Ganon's moves have high knockback and he can kill early because of it if he gets the right hit. But I think that that's also one of his biggest flaws, is that his moves send the opponent too far away. So a lot of combos that he could have, a lot of damaging combos he could have and kill confirms he could have, just don't work because he has too much knockback on his moves. Like Ganon cannot like get to the opponent at all. He has to down throw them, you have to chase them, and then you have to get a read in order to get a hit at past a certain percent. So that's a huge issue because of Ganon being as slow as he is, as well as his moves not having fantastic frame data, he's going to struggle in neutral versus a lot of characters. You want to make it so that when he gets in, what he gets matters. And the problem with that is, outside of being at a really, really low percent, he really can't do that much to make it matter. Like, he can probably get nair into something. Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of his hits just, they send the opponent too far. And then, like I was saying with his recovery, I think the easiest way to explain why his recovery is as bad as it is to look at the hitbox. Outside of the final one, the final hitbox is good. The final hitbox is fine. But that's the hitbox. If you're above Ganon, if you just aim above Ganon's head, you just hit him. Okay, and then there's that. But look at that. And then the final hitbox is amazing. But look how long it takes for the final hitbox to actually come out and like contest the opponent. It takes forever. The attack comes out on frame 34, and that only comes out if you don't grab the ledge. So if you grab ledge, it doesn't even come out. It'll only come out if you like hold down here. Yeah, that's the hitbox. I think that like a lot of people's issues at lower levels when it comes to edgeguarding Ganon is they're just afraid. They are afraid of Ganondorf. They're afraid of getting reversal. So they just will not go out and just challenge that hitbox. But if you realize how exploitable that hitbox is, you just go out and hit him. And yeah, let's look at the side B hitbox, the aerial side B. Yeah, very, very exploitable recoveries. Obviously, if this move hits you, you can die, but then that also depends on if you mash out. So I'm bad at this too. I always forget you can mash out of Ganon side B, but you can mash out of this. Yeah, so you mash out, you recover. Not as threatening as you would think. It's not like Meat Brawler side, command grab side B where you can't mash out of it. If it was, that would be great, because that would be really good. The other thing about Ganon side B is that if you and your opponent are on your last stock, it's a huge risk for you to go for it, because if you hit it, Ganon dies first. If you're at your last stock, you lose. You lose. Like as you see, like Ganondorf dies first, so last stock situation, you can't even go for that because you will just auto lose in a lot of situations. But that being said, it's not like Ganon is like completely useless or like just horrible because, like I said, Ganon's gotten some good wins. If I'm not mistaken, Rickles also said, Rickles being, you know, top Ganon player, best Ganon player, he believes that Ganon beats Lucina. So that is pretty impressive because, you know, Lucina is, a lot of people consider Lucina top tier, so that's like a pretty good matchup to run into if you're Ganon. Cope, Capium. Hey, all I'm saying is Ganon has some things. He's not like completely horrible. Obviously, it's hard for him to confirm the kills, but he has really good moves that just like flat out can kill themselves. So like once the opponent's at a really high percent, a lot of his attacks will just like flat out kill. Like look how strong that is. Yeah, so he has really strong moves. His throws suck though, like outside of high percent. So I guess if you DI in like this, you can maybe step into a kill. But his throws definitely stop being as useful at higher percents because he doesn't have a kill throw. That's something else I should have mentioned. Yeah, he doesn't have a kill throw at all. Did I talk about up tilt? I have not. His up tilt definitely, it's deceptively good. Like the hitbox is pretty big on it. If you know that your opponent is going to recover at a specific time, the hitbox is really good at catching it, and it kills really early. I would say Ganon's biggest highlight is his edge guarding. He has really solid edge guarding tools, and again, like he hits really hard. So his Nair, I would say, works pretty well for edge guarding. Back air, up air, like they're all pretty solid edge guarding tools. Down air kills super early if you get the spike. He hits hard. That's like, that is definitely his strongest trait, and he uses it very effectively off stage. In other cases, I would definitely say not so much. Like a lot of the stuff he has outside of that, like, is super percent dependent for taking stocks, like in terms of setups, unless you get a side B. Side B can be really good. So like if the opponent's in the corner like this, you can cover a lot of options. Why didn't they tech? What the f, wasn't this working? I'm triggered. But there's certain characters that if you side B them in the corner, they actually have like little to no options. You can cover everything they do. Yeah. But yeah, basically in this spot, the opponent's in a 50-50 because you can do that. So that's like the best things about Ganon, I guess. Like in terms of setting up for kills, when you side B the opponent, there's situations where they're basically in 50-50. So if you guess right, you'll die. Whereas if you side B them and they're not like trapped in the corner, it's harder. Like I think you could still put the opponent in 50-50s probably with dash tech or something, but it's less likely, or it's not as powerful of a kill option. But this option is also really good for like trapping the opponent in the corner. So it's like it gets worse depending on the character's like technical animation, because I mean get up animation. I'm pretty sure if you position yourself properly with Ganon, you can cover all their options if they're cornered, or at the very least make it a 50-50, which again, really strong kill potential from it. All right, Rickles, since I have you here, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is basically what I've been saying about Ganon. His biggest issue is that his movement isn't too great. Like his movement's okay, but it's like not as good as it should be, I feel like. Frame data wise, again, like not anything crazy. His recovery is exploitable once you get to higher levels. One of his biggest issues is that his moves have too much knockback, so he can't get as many confirms as he should be able to like really close out stocks. Like I feel like there's a lot of situations that Ganon just cannot close out stocks because he hits the opponent too far away. And then the same thing about lacking like throw combos. Ganon will nearly never get anything bigger than a 2-piece combo. Yeah, and that's only at low percents. Like he can't really get anything crazier than that outside of like getting a side B. Like a lot of times when you see a Ganon get like these crazy strings, it's because he's like hard reading the opponent. He gets some decent stuff at higher percent, but it's not really true. Yeah, that's what I figure. Like a lot of it's niche in the opponent just maybe not knowing how to DI and stuff like that. Again, I think Ganon is the worst character in the game, and a lot of it just comes down to him lacking strong traits such as having good frame data, good mobility, exploitable recovery. His biggest strength is having high knockback moves, but that's also one of his biggest flaws because again, he has really strong edge guarding capabilities because he can just blow up the opponent from, you know, his high knockback moves. But at the same time, because his moves have too much knockback, he just can't get these strong, consistent combos that other characters can get, and that also prevents him from abusing the power he has to get earlier kills that you see other characters able to get. But yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm like 1,500 subs away from getting 100K subs, so if you guys want to help me reach 100K, that would be phenomenal. My birthday is actually coming up in like a few weeks, so That would be a phenomenal birthday present. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.